Okay. Conversations with God for teens, for youth. Chapter 9 about XX. The question: why do parents freak out about XX? My God, they freak out. Susan, 14, Spartanburg, South Carolina. Why would a 14-year-old think even even think about it in the first place? I guess that if the parents are concerned about 14-year-old think about this kind of thing, then I don't blame them. Mostly, answer. Mostly, your parents freak out about sex because their parents freaked out about sex, and their parents freaked out about XS because their parents freak out about XX. It's been going on this way now for hundreds of years. Well, maybe they knew better. They knew better. Not everywhere, not in all places, nor in all cultures. There are cultures on your planet in which sex is not seen as anything shameful or embarrassing, or as something to be concealed and not talked about and to be done and hidden. Well, at least we would call it a primitive society indeed, and a Luciferian one for that matter. Yet, in the largest number of places, it's seen as exactly that. Most humans are even ashamed of their own bodies, or they are simply scared of them. And so they make absolutely certain that they are covered it up. Well, now these are different things. I mean, it's one thing for you to dress little, and another thing is to indulge in something that, well, it co- it does cause you a lot and lot of harm in the long run if not curbed and controlled in time. And then they actually pass laws require them to be. Yeah, this is another thing. I mean, some people are too ashamed of their bodies, but go around cover up. What's the point of you cover up and go around, you know, abusing your body? There's a lot of people like this man and a woman, They are only nice, they cover up their nonsenses and their own sinful ways with clothes. And clothes does not make anybody. What makes anybody are your actions. It's not even what you say or think, but if you put it into practice. I mean, uh, the man is defined by what the men do. And why? Because most humans are afraid of what will happen if they see each other naked. They imagine that they will run rampant to it and resolve the desires. Fill their mind with unhealthy fantasies. Unleash animal urges that they will be unable to control. Yeah, certain cultures that cover up themselves with cloth. They weren't born wearing Pierre Cardin or Boccini or any other names, branded names out there, but they think that they are superior because they cover up themselves. And that's very hypocrite, not to say the least. And then these people are the one that could commit certain disservice and certain harm to, to their own family, to their daughters, to their wives, open their marriage. There's many of this culture who cover up, full cover up, but then when they marry, some of them even, do something bad to their daughters. You know, there are certain cultures like that, but they cover up to be shown up as a decent person in public, and that's where the hypocrisy lies in these people. And most humans are even sure of their own body, so they are simply scared of them, so they make up so certain that they are covered up. And they actually pass laws requiring them to be. If you don't cover up even your head, so if you're a female, you're gonna stone you to death, or you're gonna punish you, or you're gonna be arrested. At least so if you're a female. But they don't know that the decency and the dignity is within the man's action, not what not how you project yourself to be, to wear. This is pretty much a warped and a backward kind of mentality. And why? Because most humans are afraid of what will happen if they see each other naked. They imagine that they will run rampant with unresolved desires, fill their mind with unhealthy fantasies, unleash animal urges that they will be unable to control, despite the fact that in sunbathing resorts and nudist camps, nothing of the sort happens. Yeah, because they are within the parameters of rules. They cannot break those parameters. In a nude beach or in a beach, you cannot go around there and then start to molest people, molest the humans, especially. So you cannot. Last, you will be called a maniac and you will be arrested because it's so uncivil to do this to other people without other people consent. And even if they consent, they are still arrested for public nonsense or public um, outrage of modesty, public outrage of modesty. But why? How did it get to be that way? Somewhere along the way, many humans convinced themselves that most anything good is bad for them, and that it is incubating their desires and denying them that they please God. Somewhere along the way, they created the idea that passion for earthly things denies them heavenly things. And so they embraced the renunciation as a spiritual practice. This is the practice of denying oneself earthly pleasures in order to concentrate on what is really important, which some said had nothing to do with being happy here, but rather earning happiness here in heaven, or as some Eastern mystics shaped it, becoming enlightened. Renunciation is not a good practice. You cannot renounce who you are in order to be who you are. The first step in being holy is being whole. So the first step into being holy, saint, is to be whole. And you cannot be whole, WHOLE, if you miss a half of yourself, if you deny a half of yourself. Remember that always the first step in being holy is being whole. When you deny a part of yourself, you deny an aspect of yourself that I created. This is as much as saying that I didn't know what I was doing, or worse yet, that I knew exactly what I was doing and now demand that you overcome it or use it in a different way. Denouncing something is not using in a different way. It's not using it. It's not to use it at all. XX and the beauty of XX and the passion of XS and the excitement of XX and the wonder of XX and the pure unbridled joy and fun of XX is something that I have given you. To renounce it is to renounce me, renounce Lucifer. Therefore, do not renounce XX, nor of the good and wonderful and fun things that I have given you in life. Blah. Simply renounce any addiction you may have to them. Okay? This is different from a requirement to live without them. This is a noticement that you can. So try everything, but don't be addicted to anything. However, I'm not advocating and perpetuate this kind of behavior for teens below, I would say maybe 16-year-old or 17-year-old. No, I wouldn't. You may destroy your life, you know. Don't do this, girls, and even boys. Don't do it. If you can keep yourself, let's say, clean, age of innocency, then bless you. Wait. There's another way that you can reach, bliss, ecstasy, in a way hormones is concerned, without going there and then mess around with other people. You know what I mean? I'm not going there because also I would not advocate it, but given the age of the person and all the hormones, who am I to say that they shouldn't play themselves? Even I would be a hypocrite. I mean, no, I don't do it, but I say I would be a hypocrite by saying that it would not be okay because given the age, for me, no, I'm old already. For what I want to do all this kind of thing, I feel like I am 100 years old. So, because human beings thought that God wanted them to renounce sex, they have turned it into a shameful thing. To put it simply, yes, there was a time when humans considered their XX desires and activities to be natural, joyful functions of life. There was no shame or embarrassment around them. Then your cultural teachings changed that, making you think that to engage in XX openly and playfully and joyfully was indulging your lower nature, and they are. It was unpleasing to God. And they are, it's lower nature, it's lower chakra, inferior chakra. This nonsense of sex have done so much harm into the families or wherever. It has done more harm than good. I wish they could undo this nonsense thing and remove these lower chakras, the brown chakra, the root chakras that many people has. Some groups and religions even taught that the only way to holiness or enlightenment was to abstain from sex, from XX altogether. But I see so many religions people like a maniac. So who is to say that because our religion are whole and pure? That's nonsense. Not that you should be another way, but you don't need to be into religion to be chaste. Others saw that if everyone did this, the human race would disappear. So they thought instead that sex was necessary part of life if new children were to be created. But that procreation was its sole purpose and only real justification. There are cultures that thinks that the woman serves on to procreate, nothing else. All the males rules. They think that women are only good for that, to procreate, to be a baby machine. And that's so erroneous, so wrong. That's so wrong. This meant that sex for reasons other than making babies was not okay. Birth control was not okay. Sex outside of marriage became not okay. And sex among younger people who were not in a position to become married or raise children was absolutely not okay. And okay, good. Because with that measures, what do you prevent? Hmm? A beautiful, VD, a beautiful unwanted pregnancy, paternal uh, claims, paternal DNA test claims, and child welfare, um, in, not saying forced, them asked from those guys that who are out making babies. So I find that it's okay not to be so promiscuous. What's wrong with that? We avoid out of the control population, unwanted population, etc. If these measures, I'm all for that. You cannot put thousand head in this earth when millions more are starving to death. Especially so in this time where inflation's all-time high. That's absurd and that's stupid. Very, very stupid. Having intercourse for reasons of pure passion and simple physical pleasure, to say nothing of burning true love and an urgent desire to unite with the beloved, once considered a violation of the sacred nature of sex. It's good to bind that low chakra there, the root chakra. Today, some of that thinking has changed, and there is a more lenient attitude towards sex in many society. And look at the result. Look at the results. Teens pregnancy, even 12-year-old giving birth, children giving birth to babies. Uh, a lot of the how to say people that who is not okay, people who are very out of balance where sexuality is concerned, not to measure, not to talk about, not to add the all the other implications that come with promiscuity, like changing behavior or VDs, these venereal diseases, etc. Do you want that? Still, it can be difficult to capture the joyfulness if there must be sneaking around and hiding going on. And the girls get a beautiful UTI. Yeah, UTI. UTI or urine tract infection are mostly uh, caused not just by poor hygiene, as well as made by stone there on the ureter, blocking, or who knows, sexual activities with different kind of partners. Of course, part of what makes sexual expression joyful is our willingness to be responsible with this energy. Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say here. Be responsible. We cannot misuse this energy. We cannot. We just can't. And we give it rise, we foment and we perpetuate the pedophilia ring in this planet. And I give more chance to these maniacs to abuse young girls. This is a true of all of life. When human beings act irresponsibly, but what you want, so you are giving them all the green card to go ahead and do it, and then you turn around and call them irresponsible. What's that? You're not being, uh, you're not be consistent here, not being consistent in the, um, not being true to yourself even. When human beings act irresponsibly in any area of their behavior, They can bring all sorts of worries, complications, and unwanted consequences into their lives, and unwanted children just so to be tormented, to be abused. Stop that. Unwanted consequences into their lives and into the lives of fathers. And the boys, you want to turn up in a paternity court so as to pay child alimony to you? There are three core concepts of holistic living, CCHL, which we will discuss later. And responsibility is one of them. When human beings act responsibly, they can act joyfully. Yeah. So don't give a green card for these people to to go ahead and do stupid thing in life. I would say no, stop, wait, think. Listen to your parents. If your parents are okay, if your parents are not some kind of crazy parents or junkies out there. Yet, even when today's more open attitudes, it is still true that XX, this natural joy of all human beings, was so condemned in the past that today in our society, many people still cannot bring themselves to use the proper name for certain body parts. Well, if they been like this because once bitten, twice shy. Down down the road, down the road and the distant past, people may have suffered through their promiscuous way in a way or another. So they create these rules and religions rules so to give more, I would say, responsibility and propriety to people, especially so to the youth. I guess that the job of the youth is to study and I maybe find a part-time job, study, or help around the house, and play nicely, play innocently. Don't play innocent, dangerous game because you're gonna get burned in the end. Whoever plays with the fire, one day will get burned. So, you still cannot bring themselves to the proper name for certain body parts, and they certainly don't allow others to see them. Simple nakedness is now called in immodesty or immodesty or immodesty. But plainly, many people are ashamed of themselves. Human beings have become ashamed of their own bodies. Yeah. Put on dress, girl, boy, shame, shame. What nonsense. Shame, shame. And then what you do? You adults, what you do? What you do? You go around, play the fool, then you ask your children to be ashamed of their bodies. Shame on your stupidity. And when it comes to the children, a lot of parents do indeed freak out about sex. Yeah, because they are concerned after all, after they come on unwanted pregnancy, and then it may traumatize this girl sometimes for life. Not all, some welcome their babies, and sometimes the babies can be a blessing in disguise, who knows. However, that's not always the case because there's many people who are not in balance. They were not meant to be mother or father. I mean, really, my father has no problem with me watching a movie with blood and gore and violence and people getting blown away right and left. But a movie with naked people making love, never. Maybe they are ashamed because it's not otherwise the kids will see, oh, this is what mommy and daddy do. And then for them it's so like embarrassed. Yes, this is a reflection of the attitudes of your society. And it is a big part of what creates the environment in which sexuality is repressed and violence is expressed. Question. Which brings up another question. How come I have to pay adult ticket price at the movies at the age 13, but I can't see an R movie? That's stupid. Carus, 14, Ashland, Oregon. 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 You have been treated as a child with regard to content, but as a full-fledged adult when it comes to the theater owner's pocketbook. Correct. Right. Given your society's preoccupation with making money, the tilt of this law in the direction of the business owner is not, is not surprising, nor is the contradiction that it requires. Humans will never stop their contradictory behaviors until they alter their priorities. So, question. So, what's the purpose of sex? Richard, 14, Miami, Florida. Also asked by many others. Answer. You must declare that for yourself. Everything in life has the purpose you give it. I do not give things in life a purpose. I have only given a purpose to life itself. I don't believe you. It's the purpose of your life to provide you with an opportunity to announce and declare, create an experience, express and fulfill who you really are. I don't believe that you create life. The earth create everything there is, and the cosmos. I mean, the earth create everything there is in here, in the cosmos, everything else there is. You are made by image and likeness of God, of Lucifer, which not he is not God at all. He's just Elohim. I know next. You are made by image and likeness of God. God is the creator. No, no, you are just the investor. I would say you are not the creator. You are the investor. God is the creator. God is the investor. I would say that's the image in which you are made. That means that you are creators. Yeah, we are creators. So why you say that you are creator when we are creators? If I told you what to create and how to create it, then you would not be creating at all. You would simply be obeying. Remember this always. Obedience is not creation. I agree. I agree full prejudice. Totally agree with this declaration. Obedience is not creation. That's why I'm stubborn and I'm rebellious to the core. I don't listen to people. Why? People don't do. The people don't help me when I need. They don't pay my bills. They don't feed me. So why must I listen to you? And so it is that I give you gifts and you decide what to do with them. Life is your greatest gift. It exists as an opportunity for you to create and recreate yourself anew in each golden moment of now in the next grandest version of the greatest vision ever you held about who you are. XX is another gift expressed and experienced responsibly. It is one of the most joyful, exciting parts of life. Allow me to repeat so that there can be no mistake about it. That the responsible relationship or XX with every health aspect understood and every consequence considered and every care taken and every joy expressed is what is being discussed here. And a consensual XX as well, when two want, not just one. Sometimes it's most the males who want. So that's no, 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 no. Go look elsewhere. So what's the greatest version of who we are with regard to sex? What's the greatest version of who we are with regard to sex? As I said, You get to decide that. Some people believe that the purpose of sex is to share love and to celebrate life. Some believe is to simply satisfy a basic physical instinct. Others, as I mentioned, say that's the main purpose is to make babies. You may agree with any of these points of view or you may create your own. Yeah, correct. Why am I lesbian? The same way why a boy may be gay, homo. What a question. Jenny 16 Miami. You answer. You are a lesbian, Jenny, for the same reason that you are right-handed or left-handed, have brown eyes, or own any other personal characteristic that makes you you. Human genetics produces all of your individual physical characteristics, correct? And also because of the hormones, you understand? Some have how uh, pros, um, testosterone is the male hormone and the or estrogen is the girl's hormone. You see, so there's many variants why someone's going to this road. I'm not here to judge. Okay, I'm not here to judge. I never done that, but I'm not here to judge. So depend on many variants in life, your age, your affluence, environment, or how much of your estrogen and progesterone. Oh, sorry, progesterone for about pregnancy for months. How much estrogen and testosterone someone has. There's something like intersex girls or intersex boys, and then they may have this, these qualities or predisposition to kind of lean more towards a certain gender than another. They may turn to the same gender, homosexuality, it's called, and they may not even, for many factors, they may still end up having a heterosexual relationship rather than a homosexual. So all depends on people. Oh, there's many variants. We are not here to judge that. So human genetics produces all of your individual physical characteristics long before you are born. This is very natural. You are very natural. And the way you are is perfect for you. I love you just the way you are because the way you are is perfect for you. And that means it is perfect for me. Go now out into the world and celebrate who you are. Celebrate your skills and your talents, your hopes and your dreams, your passions and your visions. Celebrate all that makes you one with the universe and all that makes you unique. Yet, when I say celebrate, I do not mean be insensitive to others. Celebration is not about pushing something in another space or deliberately making people uncomfortable. There is some group who are okay if it male homosexuality, but not okay if it girls homosexuality. This kind of people, I really get fed up with this kind of mentality, mostly males. There's some females like this, but mostly males. They are okay. This one are though, closet gays one who don't dare to go out there and celebrate their homosexuality. So in turn, they will blame girls. The girls are lesbian. Oh, it's a lesbian. This is a, Velcro binder. Call the girls Velcro binders or some other derogatory names to these girls. So now if you respect them and understand them as the males also should be respected. The males homosexual, those who were born with a male gender. Okay, so stop this sense of taking, um, being partial and discriminate against girls. And always, even girls cannot be lesbian now. And during teenagers' time is common. I have fantasia. I was 13, 14 year old. I have fantasia with my teacher. My teacher was a female teacher, and she was already married, and she had the age to be my mother. You know, I think I fall in love with my teacher, but a language teacher, but that's okay. I never going to there say, hey, Mrs. Darcy, I love you. I never went to there, but I just admired her from far away. Okay, and it's very common among girls. I was about 13 to 14 year old at that time. It's very common, very, very common. But with time, it dissipated. It, like everything else in life, with time it dissipates. Sometimes not, but it's okay. I mean, well, everybody is the own of their own consciousness, their own bodies. Celebration is about the peaceful acceptance and the happy experience and the joyous expression of who you are. A celebration is always a contribution. You can tell if what you are doing is a celebration by looking at what it contributes to yourself and others. So celebrate and contribute. For as you contribute to life, life will contribute to you. This that is not helping to me happen to me. And out of what you contribute, life will provide you the grandest experience of who you are. Yeah, okay, so it's giving me who I am because I am okay with who I am and I love who I am. Remember that always. Out of what you contribute to life, will life provide you the grandest experience of who you are. Okay, understand. Thank you. Question. I'm confused and scared about what to make of my newly found XX identity. I have just concluded that I am gay. How can I present that to the people I love? Poor things. I will accept if you are my son. I will say, okay, go there and express yourself. I don't care. I do it. So me, 18 year old, you are in enough age to know what you want about your sexuality. To hell, what other people think. Especially so in the Occident, you are not an Asian where there's a lot of hypocrisy. You are in the Occident, so celebrate yourself. Tommy, 18, Mobile, Alabama. Tell them the truth. If you are afraid to tell them, then say that. Tell them that you are so afraid of their disapproval that you don't feel you can be honest with them anymore. Tell them that there are certain things that you are afraid to discuss with them and ask them if there is something they could do or say to help you not be afraid anymore. If they cannot do this, or if your fear does not go away, then feel the fear and tell your truth anyway. Tell them lovely what it is you wish to communicate about your sexuality and ask them for their advice on how you might best deal with your experience. And a good luck, kid. Good luck. If you have become aware of experiencing physical attraction to persons of your own gender and you share this with your parents, give them room for their honest reaction and try very hard not to make them wrong for that reaction. Just as you hope that they will not make you wrong for your choices and decisions. Did I see a bit of judgment there? Tell them what you wish to say and ask for their love, letting them know that they always have yours no matter what. Model for them what you hope to experience from them. In short, do unto others as you would have it done unto you. What it means here is the following, because there's some guys who are, homosexual, and then when the parents don't allow, they kind of, I should have to live your life. Go be independent. I mean, if you are 18 plus, go have your life. Why you need your parents' approval for? Go have your life the way you want it. I know it's not easy. Easier said than done. However, if you don't make effort, then you're not gonna gain the freedom that you so desire and need. I know that it's more difficult in the East, in Asia. Africa is very, very terrible. Middle East, much more difficult than we there in the Occident, where people are more open-minded. Even people have seen people from Asia and Africa going to the West to get married, same-sex marriage, going to Canada, going to the West to get married because they are not allowed to get married here only because they are of same gender. Okay, and what they are trying to say here is that we should, because there's some people who are more homosexual start to judge the parents a lot because of their disapproval. But if you live under their roof, then you must expect their reaction. You must be prepared, I mean, to experience some negative response from them rather than a positive response. So if I were you, I'll just, get out, but still love them and tell them and know that one day they will accept you, okay, for what you are. And when they see that you have gone, they will miss you. And a true mother will always call you, will always inquire how are you doing, how you are faring in life. And she will always be there for you if you so wish to return to to her life again. I mean, not to stay, but maybe to visit her sometimes. Question: this may not be easy, especially if their reaction is very negative, personally attacking or condemning. Still, remember that all attack is a call for help. I think these parents are very, I don't know, they are very, they are not surreal. They are not real. They live in their own box, their own imaginary world. They think that they are in heaven. We are in planet Earth. This planet is a planet of duality. And we must expect these things from our children or from any other family member. You know? And the worst thing is to get married to a man who is a homo. And then those men are the one that mostly abuse women and children unless they have been home first before they decide that they want to marry a woman and have a family. But if they are not allowed to express their wishes, their homosexual wishes, they will vent their frustration on the woman and the children. Okay? So this is what will happen with pent up emotions. Why can't I just have sex and have it be okay with everybody? What's the big deal? Claudia, 16, Perth, Australia. Nothing you do will ever be okay with everybody. Everybody is a large word. Large word. The real question is, can you have sex and have it be okay with you? And the question right behind that would be, what could cause it to be okay with you? Question, is it okay with me? It would be fine with me. It's just not fine with everybody else. That's the problem. Why is it a problem? Because my parents would kill me for one thing. Answer, they would not kill you, and they would probably not even be surprised. What you are saying is that they would not approve. Yeah, they are just she's just exaggerating. They will not kill you. The most they can do is get it, you get scolded, and that's okay. Move on. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The Why do you think your parents would not approve? Because they think that sex is bad, wrong, shameful, whatever. That may be true, but if you become a keen student of the human race, you will observe that people often hold views that are different when they consider them as individuals from the views they hold as a group. Yeah, that's a hive mind. Talking about hive mentality here. Meaning, meaning that is possible. It is possible your parents individually don't hold many or enough of the ideas about sex held by society as a whole. Then why don't they want me to experience it? Maybe because they simply feel it's too soon. Too soon? How soon is too soon? I will read that in some societies, people do it when they are 12. Oh, oh my God. I don't know what to say man, about this. She's 16. There is no prescribed time for sexual initiation and sexual activity. It's different from culture to culture and from person to a person. No, 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 please. Please don't engage a 12-year-old, a 11-year-old to do all this kind of nonsense. 9-year-old, 10-year-old, this, no, no, no. 16-year-old, okay, but less than 15, I mean, no, please. Well, I think I'm ready. Really? Have you looked closely at all the possible outcomes? Have you explored, really explored, the consequences of deep love entanglement, pregnancy, sexually transmitted disease or STD, including AIDS? Do you know all that you believe you need to know on these subjects? If you are not sure, talk about them with your parents. If you are sure, still talk to your parents. Share with them what you understand. Talk to them about AIDS, HIV, and everything you know about that. Ask about anything you don't know. If your parents don't know either, find the answers together. Explore the various methods of birth control. Do you know everything there is to know about all of this? Talk to your parents about all of this, correct? Or if your parents don't know, go online and find out more. There is a library of information here, and they will better equip you with all the information necessary before you embark in this kind of road. Because once you start, I tell you, you're not going to stop. It's like is being addicted to ice cream or to sweets. It's hard to stop the addiction. Are you kidding me? There's no way we can talk about this. That may not be as certain a thing as you think. It's certain, believe me. Then have them read this book. Here we go again. I'm serious, have them read this book. Men, if they still won't talk with you about it, tell them you are on the verge of making some decisions about your sexuality and that you'd rather do it with a good input than without it. And tell them that do not consider others good input. Tell them that do not consider others good input. You are something, you know that. You think I can say those things to my parents? Unless you are Asian, no, you cannot. If you can't have an honest conversation with your parents, what's the point of you having parents? Ask them that. Phew. Yup, Phil is right. Phew is right. Tell them why you want to have sex, how you hope to deal with it in your life, the values that you have created around all that. Then ask for their honest, caring, loving input. And don't be shocked if your parents surprise you. They may be more than willing to talk. They may be totally able to hear that addicts and others don't work anymore. To hear that addicts and others don't work anymore, and they may have great understanding and empathy about your feelings and desires than you think. You said on the first page of this book that I have as much sex as I want every day of my life, and you to be very okay with everybody. What were you talking about? That doesn't seem like what you are saying here. I say that first you must understand what sex is, and that it may not be what you think. I think I have pretty good understanding of what sex is. Maybe not from experience, but I've heard enough to know what's going on. You may know enough about intercourse to know what's going on. But do you know enough about sex? If you do, then you know that you are already having sex every day. Sexual energy is exchanged between people from the moment they meet. All of you are energy transmitters, and you are sending your signals in a 360-degree circle all around you. These rays extend from you into infinity. The criss-cross energy rays from other beings and from other things, forming a never-ending web of intersecting emanations that physically impact the space in which they exist, setting up very particular vibrations. Everything that exists sends out these emanations. It is this vibe that you feel and to which you react when you find yourself in any particular space. You can feel the vibe as soon as you walk into a room or enter any place. Likewise, you can feel the vibe shift as soon as the emanation from any other being shifts, to say nothing of the emanation from a whole group of beings. Yeah, I know what I mean. You know, feel the bad energy of some people around. People react to these emanations. Animals and plants react to these emanations. The earth itself reacts to these emanations. The entire universe reacts to these emanations. The entire universe is these emanations. That's what the whole system is. It is what holds everything within the system together. It's what sends information to the system about the system. It's the essence of everything. The spectacular process through which this essence emanates from, to, and through everything in existence is called SEX. SEX, or sex, or synergistic energy exchange. Synergistic energy exchange, or sex. It's like the Matrix, yes, and as in the movie, it's also an imaginary reality. The only thing different is that there is no sinister force behind it, no colony or artificial intelligence, no arm of robots. Really? Wow, really? Wow. I heard that there are beings, entities that they kind of they benefits from the leftover sexual energy left behind after the orgasm, and they feed you upon this. They vibrate, they are there wherever there's a intercourse. They are there because they will take energy from that actions, at least so from the youth. The imaginary reality of your matrix being created by you. You are the creator and the created. Your matrix is the combined energy field put into place by the Lord of you. Its effects are localized by the power of this force field when it is intensified in any particular time and place. This force field cannot be seen by most people, although it can be felt by everyone, and nearly everyone can describe how it feels at one time or another, in a way or another. Those who are highly sensitive feel the force field constantly. Students on the road to mastery have learned that they are both feeling and creating it, and they are in the process of remembering how to use this force in their lives. Masters are those who have come to a deeper awareness of all this. It is in what a noise! And it is in and from this essential essence that they live and move and have their being. When you experience SEX with a master, you know it. Oh, what a master, man. Who are this master, please? Master in XCX, a professional, a sexual professional, please. I got it. But I think you know that this is not the kind of sex that I was talking about. It's all the same thing. We are simply talking about different expressions of the same energy. When you understand this, when you realize that you are having sex in every single moment, then you become much more aware of both the energy you are sending out and the energy that you are receiving. You begin to create your sending energy deliberately in a particular way. After you do this consistently for a while, you are said to have charisma. Charisma. It's done with such a simple instrument, such a simple tool. The tool is called mood swings. How about that mood swings? The mood you are in, it's the mood you bring into a room and can easily affect the mood in the room. Thus, you can be said to be recreation it anew. Everything changes because you walked in. Now, the magic of a mood is something that most people do not understand. You have an opportunity right now to come to an understanding of it that can change your whole life. Will it improve my romantic life? That's what I'm talking about here. Believe me, this has everything to do with the kind of synergistic energy exchange you are talking about. In any kind of sex mood is everything. Now, the magic of the mood is that it can be creative and it does not have to be reactive. Most people think that the mood is their reaction to something outside of themselves, something that exists or has occurred. This, they say, has put them in a certain mood or even ruined their mood. Those who know the magic of the mood understand, however, that mood need not be only a reaction, it can be a creation. That is, you can decide ahead of time what mood you want to be in before you have an idea of what condition exists or what events are going to occur in a particular time and place. By choosing your mood ahead of the moment rather than after it, you impact the moment in an incredible way. You begin to create the conditions that exist and the events that occur. Your mood changes the moment rather than the moment changing your mood. Your mood changes people rather than people changing your mood. Suddenly, with regard to how you are experiencing your life, you are at cause and the matter. You are no longer at the effect of life, but at the cause. The simple switch can alter every waking moment. That's great. That's just like, wow, I never considered it that. I never thought of things like that. I mean, that's what I, that was a pretty far-ranging discussion considering we started out talking about making love. We never stopped talking about making love. Remember this always. Love is not measured by how many times you touch each other, but how many times you reach each other. Wow, yes, wow indeed. Not all teenagers feel that sex is important at this stage in their lives. I, for one, think that way too much made of it. I have no intention of having sex until I get married. Bravo. That's very okay. Have you decided why? Sure, because I think that sex is a sacred part of the human experience. See? It is only to be shared inside of the sanctity of marriage. Not all marriage is made of in heaven, but well, better than go around and mess around with so many people. But that's okay. But I don't still think that many certain people deceive one another, and a man deceive a girl because of a virgin. Not all of them will value you for it, nevertheless. Who told you that? My mom, but I agree. Cool. I've never heard of a God who said cool before. God speaks to people using language that's natural for them. Don't you ever say cool? Yeah, cool. So do I. So I'm right about sex and marriage. It's not a question of being right. It's a question of what works for you. You are always defining yourself by every thought, word, and action. Yes, but what do you think? What does God say? This might be a good time to tackle the whole subject of God and how it is with me. So that's all for part one. A lot of people excited. Oh, I mean, party. This is chapter 9. 9.